State football here at Walnut Hills High School with head coach Gerry Beauchamp, and coach is in his second season, will be in his second season in 2018, and went 3-7 last year in his inaugural year here. And coach, you really had to start from ground up, being now that it's year number 2. What are you liking about what you've seen your program and how it's moving along?
Sure, I think the fact we have 17 returning starters back is obviously a huge plus. That's pretty rare. We were young last year, so younger guys got some valuable experience, and it's carried over. The fact that those guys were able to play together throughout the season and now are coming back, they've took all that momentum into the weight room, and really our weight room stuff and our off-season program has just been tremendous. So I believe we have a lot of potential, but like I tell our guys, potential is just that. We have to manifest that into a successful season.
You were at LaSalle before this, and you had to go through the same thing before you learned how to win there. What's sort of the thing that you need to know or need to do to get over the hump into winning consistently?
Sure, and you just said it. I think it's consistency. Having everybody on the same page. So, our guys right now are very close. So there's, like Juwan was saying earlier, there's not a group over here, a group over here, a group over here. We're all on the same page. It's one group, one team. There's a consistent message coming from the coaching staff. We're very organized in that fact that, this is the message. This is where we see our kids. This is where we need to move forward. And it's a constant thing, but really just being one of the closest teams in America. We talk about that with our kids all the time. I think we're moving towards that. And when you're that close, then you start playing for each other. You want to win for each other. You don't want to let your brother down. So I think that's the direction we're definitely heading. And, that's a process. But this offseason, like I said, has been great, and that's where we're moving towards.
Before I get into talking about your team, the league, you joined the ECC, and man, it seems like it's really clicking on all cylinders. Were you surprised with how good this league was?
I've known about this league, and my philosophy is if you want to be the best, you have to play the best. So in some form or another, we're going to 7-on-7 scrimmage or in the regular season play 3 of the 4 GCL teams, Coleraine, Winton Woods, and then obviously we open up with a tough opponent in Lakota East. So we're going to prepare our kids for the league by playing, tough competition and getting those guys ready for that. And, like you said, this league's won multiple state titles. In my opinion, it's one of the best leagues in the country. So there's not an easy game in this league. And, we get into the league schedule, and it's a grind week after week. So hopefully we're able to challenge our kids with our preseason and pre-conference stuff, and then going into the league, we'll be ready to go.
I noticed, let's talk a little bit about, you've got a centerpiece on defense. Let's start there.
Sure.
Juwan Briggs, a fantastic football player, one of the highly recruited kids out of the area. When you got a kid like that who is a very special player, how do you surround him, not only to make him better, but to make all the other players better on D?
Sure. Again, I believe it's 9 returning starters on defense. So, that's something we've been building, since I got here. We started 2 seniors, 2 great players who we're going to miss, but we got a lot of really great young talent. So, I think we're going to be able to fill in where those guys left off and just kind of continue what we started to build. We were young and inexperienced, and now that we've played together for a year and have so many guys coming back, I think those guys around Juwan, I think it's all going to mesh in really nicely. We got a new defensive coordinator this year who I've worked with in the past. We won a state title together at LaSalle, and he's on board, and I'm just really excited with the direction our defense is going.
Offensively, you don't bring back a lot of guys with a lot of stats. A lot of people are going to have to show up on Friday Night Lights for the first time. Tell us about that side of the ball and what the 2018 Eagles are going to look like there.
Sure. I think we're going to be pretty big up front, which last year I think one of our offensive linemen was like 175 pounds. Another guy was like 190. We're not going to have that problem this year size-wise. So we're going to be pretty big. Our guys are getting really strong in the weight room. Our numbers we tested in December, and now we just tested last week when we got back from spring break, and our numbers have gone up tremendously. So again, the kids are working hard, and for me on offense, it always starts up front. So having a big offensive line this year, and obviously we got to stay healthy, but the potential to have a nice size offensive line, to me, starting up front with that, I couldn't ask for anything better than that.
There you go. That's head coach Gerry Beauchamp of the Walnut Hills Eagles. They are on their way to rebuilding things, and they should have a pretty decent season in 2018.